Greetings pimps. Today we have a video discussing the rampant cases of pseudo-intellectual content on YouTube and the NPCs that gobble it up. Now this is not referring to most video gameplay related content, as although that can be considered lowest common denominator drivel, the creators are, most of the time anyway, not attempting to high road or come off as emotionally superior. Yes, we all know that there is a rampant pedophile problem in that community as a whole, with child predators such as DSP, XQC, and Asmongold, but that is not the topic at hand here. Where we shall stop first on this journey, however, is gaming news content or video game review content. How to find these NPC channels who do this type of content is quite easy. You will see them constantly cover only the big news stories, perhaps even only the drama-based ones. If the channel made a video talking about GTA 6 leaks, bingo, you have found yourself a following of NPCs. Examples of garbage like this includes channels such as Jim Sterling and Yong Ye. Funnily enough, both of those examples are also pedophiles, but that's a story for another time. Make sure to convince your followers they're on the high road by watching your so-called content. People like Review Tech USA fit this bill too, but he has openly admitted he knows his content is drivel. Now, this is not a defense of that child molester either, but being openly self-aware that your content is like this is perfectly fine in my book. Being dumb on purpose is not actually being dumb, so to speak. Tied into this section of content creators are the anti-scammers, so to speak. Exposing a scam is all well and good, but let's not give said scammers clout by making a 15+ minutes video about them. This goes along with the previous examples of people who only post videos of video game related drama. Some of the degenerates in this group include upper echelon gamers, some ordinary gamers, Josh Strife Hayes and CoffeeZilla, all of which have amassed fan bases of NPCs due to this style of content, as well as appealing heavily to emotion. 3 of the 4 of those are also obvious pedophiles, by the way. I'll leave it up to the viewer to figure that one out for themselves. I'll give you a hint, the one you like the most is a pedophile. This type of content wouldn't be as bad if one were making a clear and concise video in 60 seconds or less, instead of purposefully trying to get the viewer emotionally invested in your appeals to emotion. Even this is giving the person clout. However, a small snippet is different than an entire feature-length film. Got a reel in the NPC brains with stacks on stacks of appeals to emotion and authority though. Right? LOL. Now to hop away from gaming, let's dive into the many pseudo-intellectuals who are rampant in the economic and political channel world. Pedophiles and appeals to emotion and authority are rampant in this section more than anywhere else. Name a political commentator of any ideology, yes, even your own, and they almost 100% of the time fit this bill. I could go on endlessly with examples, but some are Hassan Piker, H3H3, Joe Rogan, Sam Seder, Ben Shapiro, Vaush, Illuminati, Quinton reviews Shoe on Head, and literally anyone who yells about socialism, capitalism or communism. As stated, one could list these forever, as being a pseudo-intellectual. Political channel has blown up the past number of years as NPCs like to feel smart watching someone, especially those who appeal to emotion or authority when they are claiming to be using logic. If I didn't name your fave political channel, don't worry, they are included too, and both them and you are an emotion-based NPC. This category is filled to the brim with hilarious infighting and constant purposeful misunderstandings in order to feel intellectually superior. Don't think it's only people on each bookend. Either centrists are some of the dumbest and most easily manipulated NPCs on the planet too. It shouldn't need to be said that people who waste their time whining about whatever their preferred term to blame is are prime examples of NPCs and pseudo-intellectuals, making an endless stream of videos yelling at your made-up version of capitalism and making up terms such as late-stage capitalism to make yourself feel intellectual, as well as referring to things the state causes or things people do as capitalism or fascism is equally as stupid to making an endless stream of videos yelling at your made-up version of communism and referring to things the state does or causes as socialism, fascist, or communism. Funnily enough, if an NPC from either of these realms heard that sentence, their head would implode. And then they'd continue on watching such drivel as the examples given, subconsciously telling themselves, "Oh, but that wasn't referring to me, I totally understand both." These channels always boil down to appealing to emotion and authority, telling you something is bad thing because I or someone else said so. None of these types of channels are a single one of their viewers or fans could even explain why murder is objectively immoral in the context of debate, let alone anything else. This is why such channels must rely solely on emotion and authority. Your average NPC gets programmed to dislike or like capitalism or socialism or whatever political ideology that fits one's programming, then spend their lives screaming, "But that's bad thing" at the other side, never comprehending that neither are based anywhere in logic. Quite hilarious to witness, to be honest with you. Yes, this also includes most supposed anti-state channels, most of which are the same infighting drivel, arguing over real anarchy or some other NPC crap. If you ever catch someone wasting their time talking about what constitutes real anarchy, run the other way immediately, as you are about to hear some of the worst drivel ever programmed into a pseudo-intellectual's head. LOL. Now our last example are the most obvious pseudo-intellectual channels even NPCs recognize. Sometimes. Bear in mind this is different than simply appealing to the lowest common denominator. Yes, lowest common denominator would include some of my own content too, however I make it knowing it is drivel like the aforementioned example, and unlike most, this would also include every podcast ever made. This video is not about that, as it would encompass nearly all of YouTube. Now, some examples of these false intellectual content include Vsauce, Veritasium, Jake Tran, Kyle Hill, Devin Nash, Neil deGrasse Tyson, and most the channels that would fit into multiple categories, as they think making their NPC content is somehow intelligent because they cover more than one niche. That said, this does not include channels such as Ben G. Thomas, which stems from genuine creativity and intrigue, not false intellectualism. I would highly recommend checking out Ben's channel. This group's downfall is targeting NPC brains, not a genuine interest. Now pimps, that is about all there is to say, and we have covered all the no sense and straight cheeks channels. ANWAYS pimps, we out.